Okay, so it's only a couple of days before Christmas. I've just come out here and lit up the fire. I thought I'd make a little video. I know it's been a few weeks since I've made a video. I had 3 weeks of COVID. I had a really bad COVID. It's the third time I've had it, and that's by far and away the worst. And it's a bit annoying really, because I think I caught it by visiting the doctor's surgery when I went up there to book my COVID jab. And I never got round to having the COVID jab because about 4 days after I went up to the doctor to book my appointment, I came down with COVID. There must be some moral to that, but I'm not sure what it is. But anyhow, I'm alive, I've survived through it. And the fire's working well as normal. We've got a busy time coming up, you know, over the next few days. Like I hope a lot of you are also going to be celebrating Christmas. What do you call it? Something different in America? Is it happy holidays or such like? Well, we're still, Christmas is the end of the world. Anyhow, yeah, I mean, I can think of quite a few more things I could do to play around with the fire. Or we might go off in a completely different direction and see if we can think up something different. But one way would be certainly by removing this slanting glass to opposite the top part here, so the air's coming in more to the top. And I'd also think that would direct the flames more, it would take the flames more directly into the Vortex slot. So that's one idea I'd like to try out. And we'll just see how it goes. So I hope some of you guys will stay with us through 2025 and we'll see how we get on. And a Merry Christmas to you all. Hi guys, it's been a few weeks. Unfortunately I had a bit of a COVID bug, but I thought I might light the fire just before Christmas. I've got this little this bucket I've put on top of my chimney, but unfortunately we've had some very high winds. We've had some nasty storms, which is typical for this time of year when you live on a small island. But a little hook I used to attach my pole has spun round the other side. I'm having a few problems getting it. I think I got it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, got the bucket down. So I made a few comments in a previous video about my tree not dropping its leaves. Well, it's dropped its leaves now. Now I realise I've got to paint behind the wall. Well, I got a lucky score. A visit to my local stove centre. And I've got this massive piece of glass. And I've got another couple of really substantial pieces here. This is all ceramic glass of Huffy stoves. So yeah, so definitely find a use for that in the new year. I've got a few pine cones in here. I've been cutting them down and using them for Christmas decorations. I've just cut them down on my bandsaw. I wouldn't recommend it in actual fact. It's a bit hair raising cutting those things in half, but they make really nice table decorations, fascinating inside. I thought I might chuck a couple on the fire and see how it goes. Right, so we've got the firebox pretty much loaded up now. I'll get some of my, I really like these organic fire lighters. They've got no chemicals on them. I've shown them before, but all it is literally twists of softwood. It's very, very dry, I guess, and they're sort of tightly twisted together, but they just work so well. I just can't believe how well they work. It makes the fire jump into life pretty much instantly. But because I haven't lit this fire for a month or however long it's been, and we've had some really foul weather, I know there's going to be dampness inside the fire. And from previous experiences, it normally makes, in the first few minutes, you can actually get water running down the upper glass. You get so much condensation. I think it must sort of maybe soak into the vermiculite or whatever. It doesn't take long to dry out, but you get this misting on the front glass, the initial fire up. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is just the firelighters producing this vortex. Most of the condensation has disappeared, but I have noticed there's a bit of a dicey patch we go through. Once the fire starters have burnt down, you can get, well, it doesn't exactly go smoky, but the vortex sort of diminishes, goes down a little bit, and there's that 5-minute period when it's not burning very well, and then it bursts back into life. Okay, the fire's taken off. It's gone big time, so we just close down these vents, stop it over fueling, and that'll set it down. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for the fire to catch up, I'm just going to take you across down to the party house, and I'll show you what's going on with the J-tube. So we've got another Christmas party this afternoon. So I'm just cleaning the fire out after our last fire. The vermiculite's still going strong. I mean, the floor and the sides are still working perfectly fine. My metal grid has had a bit of a bashing. I mean, we normally keep these fires during these parties. They can burn for anything up to sort of 7 or 8 hours, sometimes even longer. I'm going to light the fire shortly. It's coming up to 12 o'clock. People are coming at 3 o'clock. But if I light it 3 hours beforehand, it really heats up the whole room. And we are in winter now. I mean, it's definitely not warm. If I'm looking up at my thermometer, we're presently at 10 degrees centigrade, so it's not going to be warm. But this has lasted quite well, all things considered. You know, I mean, it's been going for a few months, so we'll get that in place. I'm just going to have a clean up. I've just cleaned out the ashes. The thing about having this removable piece of glass is you just literally sweep the ashes out. This piece of glass is such an easy thing to actually fit. It's no hinges or anything like that involved. I highly recommend it. It's great. Both these things, having that front glass and having the steel grid, I think are great assets to the J-tube. So just have a look inside the J-tube. I mean, this is the vermiculite floor, which it is getting slightly abraded, but I mean that's several years old, and you know, it proves how durable this vermiculite can be. But what I wanted to show you, if I can get my phone to go inside here and turn up onto the roof, I'm not sure if there's enough light, but we have got a crack in our glass. This glass is on the roof of the ceiling, as you can see, and that's where the air travels through, but it obviously gets very, very hot from underneath, and it looks like the ceramic glass has eventually fractured. It's still holding up, so I'm not going to worry about that too much, certainly not for the rest of this year. All right, so here we are, the morning after the night before. We'll have a look what's going on with the fire. I don't think I've ever shown you what it looks like in the morning. Let's take out this front glass. I'm not expecting my piece of metal grid to have lasted much longer. Let's have a look at it. Ah, yes, yeah, right. That I knew it was getting near the end of its life. I think we need to replace that one. So this is basically what we've got left in the morning. I mean, that's the total amount. Oh, look, we've got a bit of grid there. But yeah, so you've got a sort of handful of charcoal and a bit of ash, but certainly not a lot left. Yep, the fire's done us good again. Okay, so the Vortex is well established now. Let's have a bit of fun. I wonder if what happens if we stick one of those pine cones up into the top firebox. I know this firebox runs at 750 degrees centigrade, so I suspect it to ignite fairly quickly. Well, it has caught fire pretty quickly, and it's certainly producing a lot of wood gas. So just for a bit of fun, of course. I quickly open the door and shine it in here. The gun's rated to 750 and it's going off for scale. I got a quick glimpse of, you know, it's around about 750, I know it is. Okay, so while we've got the temperature gun in our hands, we'll have a look at the ceramic glass top. It's pretty good. It averages round about 350 and it goes down. I think the lowest temperature is around the 300 marks, 298, and the very hottest spots, it's getting close to 300. I know it goes up to sort of about 360, 70, but we're averaging about 350, so that's great. I reckon that's a pretty good temperature, to be honest with you. And we've got a 399 there in the centre. We'll have a quick look at our pine cone and see how that's getting on. Give it another temperature blast. It's just registering high all the time. I say the limit of the gun is 750, so it's obviously around those sort of temperatures. You just have to bear in mind this is a very small stove. It's only a tiny little 4-inch system, so quite impressive really. Well, I'd just like to say thanks very much for all you guys who followed along with my experiments. I've really enjoyed doing them, and I hope you guys have enjoyed following them. And a happy Christmas.